Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I had a question sent in to me on Instagram, and the question was, Mahdi, how do you deal with the hate that you get, knowing that when you speak your mind, when you share what you want to share, you know most of the time you're going to have a nasty backlash. How do you deal with that? And are you scared? Was the next question. Do you fear the backlash that you will get? So I thought I'd take a video about this topic because, especially in today's day and age where we live in an extremely triggered society, the more coddled and protected society becomes, the more sensitive they become. How do you get calluses like this on your hands, as an example? Well, I train pretty much every day, right? I train bare hands, and as a result, the skin gets thick. You develop a thick skin. In today's society, most people don't have a thick skin, don't have the tolerance to hear opinions contrary to what they believe in because they are so coddled, the cancel culture. And this makes people even more triggerable, for want of a better word. So bearing in mind that we live in a society, in a culture, in a day and age where saying even something remotely out of line with the status quo, with the woke status quo, will get you cancelled, will get you in trouble. I've been banned off of TikTok 4 times. I can't actually, I can't access the TikTok app from my phone anymore. TikTok blocked I forget the name, the ID number on my phone, and I can't actually access their app on my phone anymore. I have to use another phone in order to take any content for TikTok, because of the views that I have expressed in the past. And I'm not the first, by the way. Plenty of people have been cancelled for different reasons, sharing different views, sometimes much milder than my own. That's the type of day and age that we live in. Some of the videos I've taken in the past, I have literally had hundreds of messages in my inbox of death threats, people telling me to go commit suicide. Hundreds. I cannot tell you how many messages I have had whenever a video of mine has gone viral, where people have either told me they are going to kill me or they tell me to go and kill myself. And for someone who may not necessarily have the mental fortitude or strength to deal with those types of messages, that could really affect them. It could really impact them. If someone is on the brink of committing suicide or is having those types of thoughts and they receive a barrage of those messages, what do you think is going to happen? Most probably someone is going to actually go and top themselves. So how does one deal with this type of backlash? That's what I'm going to revolve this video around today. The first thing is this. So to answer the question, am I ever scared of the backlash I receive? No, the honest answer is no. I'm not, and I'm trying to be honest here. Does it bother me sometimes? No, it really doesn't. And the reason why is simple. I am bothered by one thing, but it's not fear of repercussions from the people. What I am bothered by, what worries me the most is what I am saying accurate, correct? Because there is a possibility that I could be wrong. I am scared of that. I am scared of sharing a message that it may well turn out further down the line that I was wrong, that I made a mistake, that I was misinformed, that I was not educated enough. That's what I fear the most. I fear sharing something that I may be wrong about, and we're human beings, which means we all make mistakes. We all could be wrong on something. That's my existential fear, not the backlash I will get from the people. Actually, I measure the success of my message, I measure the accuracy of my message based upon what type of pushback do I get. If I don't get a lot of pushback on that message, I start to wonder, did I water it down too much? Was I too politically correct? Because typically, the messages that are most upsetting are the ones that contain truth, either elements of the truth or the whole truth, but it is not accepted by society for whatever reason. And in fact, I will read to you a quote. And the quote goes as follows. It's from this book here by Laura Doyle called The Empowered Wife. I recommend all women to read this book. Very good book. And it goes as follows. When a well-packaged web of lies has been sold gradually to the masses over generations, the truth will seem utterly preposterous and its speaker a raving lunatic. Profound. This is by Dresden James, is an author and TV writer. I've never heard of him, but you know what? His quote sounds mad. So I tend to measure the accuracy or the accurateness of my message based upon the amount of pushback I get. Now, that's not to say if you get a lot of pushback on your message that it's correct. No, you could be saying something completely wrong, but it still upsets people and you get a lot of pushback as a result. I'm simply saying it's one metric I use to measure whether my message is as close to the truth as possible or not. I base it upon what type of pushback do I get back from the masses. That's how I measure the accuracy of my message. It's one metric I use at least. So when I get massive backlash, when my inbox is full, when I've had a video go viral, my inbox is full of death threats or people telling me to go and top myself, I am secretly happy. I'm happy because it is encouraging for me that there is a strong possibility that this message that I put out has some truth in it or the whole truth. One of the two. It has some truth or the whole truth. So that's kind of like vindication. Now, that's not to say that if you put a message out there and you don't get any pushback, that the message is not the truth. No, that's not to say that. But a lot of the time, the truth is hated. When the Prophet ﷺ came out in Medina and started preaching, not to compare myself to him, just simply to make a point. When you preach a message that is disliked by the masses, you will get pushback, no matter what that message is. So when I get pushback, when I get hate, when I get told to top myself, or that people will come and top me for that matter, I take that as a good sign that there is a strong possibility there is truth in this message. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. Yes, you do have to be mentally strong if you want to preach a message that you believe in, but that you know you will get a lot of pushback for. You do have to have a certain level of mental strength. And in order to become mentally strong, just like when you want to become physically strong, you must train. You want to get big muscles? You have to train. You want to become mentally strong? You have to train. You have to put in the work and train. But how do you make the mental muscles strong? How do you make those muscles big? Well, there's a number of things that you can do. Firstly and foremostly, every single day, you have to do at least one thing that puts you outside of your comfort zone, that makes you uncomfortable, that you really don't want to do. You wish you didn't have to do it. You wish you didn't have to do it, but you do it anyway. That's the first way that you make yourself mentally strong, and I'll give you some examples. In my case, I make myself minimum of once a day, sometimes more, sometimes twice a day. I have to have an ice cold shower. Ice cold shower, I mean just the tap. And in the summertime, like right now, the pipes are a bit hotter. That's not enough. Sometimes I'll fill up the bath and I'll just dunk it with a few kilos of ice to really get that feeling. I don't do it for health benefits. Let me just make that categorically clear. I do not do it for health benefits, even though I know there are health benefits. No, I do it because it's hard in the middle of the winter. I remember December, January time when I was doing this, maybe February time, the water was so cold that I was breathing smoke out of my mouth. That's how cold it was. And I was doing those showers at 4:30, 5 in the morning. So I'd get up around 4 o'clock, 4:30, work out for 15 minutes and then jump into this ice cold shower. Smoke's coming out of my mouth and off of my body. That's how cold the water was. Why do I do it? Because it's hard. It's difficult. Getting up at 4 in the morning is difficult enough as it is, by the way. But then having that workout whilst you're half asleep and then that cold shower on top of it, it's not easy. It's hard. And honestly, you can get used to the routine, but you never quite get used to the pain of that cold water or having to work out intensely first thing in the morning. You never really quite get used to that. It's a daily battle. And some days I fail. Sometimes I get up late. Be honest with you. I don't always manage to do it. Most of the time I do. Some days I fail. And I need to work on that. That's an indication that there is a weakness in my mental armory. You see? Discipline, consistency. And in fact, saying this to you now is making me realize, no, I need to fix that. I need to be more consistent. I'm not as consistent as I need to be. I need a 100% record, not 95%, not 100%. That's how you build mental toughness. Discipline, doing the difficult things. That's the training. So long as you take care of the training, competition is easy. You might have heard the saying, bleed in training so that competition will be easy for you. Something along those lines. If you bleed in training, competition will always be easy. A lot of top athletes say this. The competing is the easiest part. The training is the most difficult part. So to become mentally strong, to be able to withstand the stones that people will throw at you when you want to share a particular message that you know will be controversial, you need to have trained your mental muscles regularly, frequently in training, and that happens every single day. If you are not in a disciplined routine whereby you're doing things on a daily basis that make you uncomfortable, whether it's a tough workout, whether it's a cold shower, maybe it's sleeping on the floor one night a week, maybe it's starving yourself for food for 24 hours a day. There's many different imaginative things that you can do to make yourself uncomfortable. I have a friend, he gets up first thing in the morning. In the winter, he was doing this and it was really cold, and he would go for a long walk in his shirt and shorts. Why? Just because it's hard. That's it. It's difficult. It's difficult to go out in freezing cold weather in shirt and shorts and just walk. You're not even getting warm. Why would he do that? I thought it was a great idea to toughen his mental muscles, to push through that discomfort. He could easily have come back home. He chooses not to. That's how you push through that discomfort and make the mental muscles strong. David Goggins has a word for it. He says, callous the mind. You see those calluses that you see there on my hands? Do that to your mind by constantly pushing yourself out of your comfort zone over and over and over. That's how you callous the mind. That's how you become mentally strong. Once you do that in training often enough, regularly enough, consistently enough, then when you want to share a particular message that you are pretty sure you're going to get a ton of pushback, you become largely immune to it. And your biggest fear will not be the people. Wallahi, it will not be the people. Your biggest fear will be, have I shared the correct message? It's always going to come back down to you, because you know you have a responsibility, especially if you have a big platform. The bigger your platform, the greater this responsibility to share an accurate message. And that's a big burden. So your greatest fear will not be what the pushback of the people will be, although that may well be a fear, especially if you're employed, you work at a company. Yeah, you could face some repercussions. I'm not denying that. But the most concerning thing will be, did I share the correct message? Did I say the right thing? Did I articulate myself correctly, or have I made a mistake somewhere? That's going to be your biggest fear. And that is the main thing that you should concern yourself with and worry about. That right there. So I hope that helps in terms of building mental toughness. Constantly push yourself outside your comfort zone. You will become mentally tough. The first time you face pushback from people en masse, like you get a lot of hate, I'm not gonna lie, it comes as a bit of a shock to you. After you've been through it a couple of times, it's like whatever. It's like good, fantastic. Oh, people didn't like it. Well, I must be onto something here then. Brilliant. Tuzza alayhum. It means that you're on the right path. But the most thing that you want to concern yourself with, the most important thing you want to concern yourself with is, am I sharing the correct message? That's what bothers me on a daily basis. That's what worries me on a daily basis. Every time I've taken a video, every single video you've watched, at the end of it, I'm like, oh man, I forgot to add this. Oh man, I should have said that. It's the most frustrating thing. I do my best, but it's the most frustrating thing. Knowing that there was something I missed, something I could have added, some type of elaboration, some type of additional explanation. It is what it is. It's a process. That's what will bother you the most, not the people. I hope this helps. If you found value in this video, hit the like, hit the share it with someone who needs to hear this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.